Something totally different. A Hiretech floor sander. A Hire company label still on it, so this was an ex-Hire machine. So the problem with this one is down on power, still runs, but it's way down on power, and after she's running a little while, starts to smoke. So the problem's not so much the motor, the armature, it's actually the field inside here. So this isn't going to be a big long-winded video. It's going to be straight to the point. Changing the field on a Hiretech HT8 floor sander. First off, get shot of the handle. Now, get off these covers. Lose the belts and the pulleys. Screws down here and for your socket. That plate out and take this one off. And now that we have it down here and everything's free, just check your bearings. So this is the impeller for your fan for blowing out the chips and the dust. And this is your actual drum. And that's fine too. So this is the motor side. Cobwebs and all. So we get the armature out of here and access the field. We need to get this plate off. That is why I don't like working on these machines. Normally the bolts are rusted solid. Now, if you can't get them out, drill them out. That's them out. You can also take out these flat heads. This is what holds the brush holder on. Now, to get this plate off, there's nothing to pull on. To pull this plate out, how do you get it out without pulling on anything? Take your screws from here, or in my case from the back, put them into these empty holes here and here. So it looks just like a car brake drum. There's plates threaded in these two holes, and then it's sitting against the frame back here. So this screw will push against the frame and push out the plate. Do it bit by bit. And you should get your plate out. There we go. One plate, that's what holds your bearing. This boy here. And then this piece here is part of your brush ring. This holds your brushes, powers your motor. Same on this side, 4 bolts. Thread them back in to here and here. Look at that for a motor. That's a big armature. Inside is the field. Now, we still want to test this as well, this armature, to make sure it is good. Pull out the growler and check the windings. Just in case there's interference. Clean that column bar. No, that's just not good. High reading, medium, high. This is all over the place. Nah, that's just not good. On top of that, you can see that one there. See, there's a bigger gap. Definitely something wrong there. I don't think this armature's any good. Luckily, the fella who owns this machine also left on a donor machine for the field to come out of. And it also has a rotor. The other machine's already been stripped for parts. Everything else is missing apart from just the body. So we'll test this and see if this one's good. Right, this one's actually in much better nick, so we'll go with this one instead. Just comparing these as well, you can see this one's in a lot better shape. This one's a newer armature, more recent. This is an older one. Tell by the way they're actually wound and made. This one's a big heavy cord wrap to keep the stake-ons on, less than this one. More hollow. This has actually been wound a wee bit differently, but still nice shiny copper, still shiny steel laminations, no discoloration on the windings down here. Column bar is good, all the stake-ons are nice, and it's reading good on the growler. This one, if you inspect it a little bit more closely, these windings, you can actually see there's two tones on them. Dark copper and a bright copper. You can actually see that has been cooking. Looks fine when you're looking at it like this. When you put it together with this one, you can see the difference. That one is actually gone. Now change this field. Get the brush ring off. The rust that's on this thing. Plus that brush ring. And brushes weren't good. Well worn down. And this one wasn't coming down far enough. That could have been the cause of the armature going. Now on this side, feels behind this bakelite plate, steel ring, just acts as an air deflector. It's held on by a big ass clip. Take that out, take your bakelite plate out. You have two flat-headed screws here and here. field should push out. Should. Wee bit of persuading. Good job, we have a spare. Now, one burnt up stator. Here she's black along here. Compare that to the second hand one. Yeah, that one's generating too much heat. This is one we need to get on now. So now we need to clean this out, get this on, and get it all back together again. That's us. I think we're ready to go. Cleaned out, tidied up, threads rebored and retapped. I think we're good to go. First thing, field. Now, this can be a tight fit in order to help it slide on. Keep your field nice and cool. Heat up the actual housing to help expand it, allow it to slide on a wee bit easier. Because these can be tight going on. Now you will be at this a while because this is all aluminium. Aluminium's a great conductor of heat. The more heat you put on, the more it just dissipates. To put a fair bit of heat on to actually get this anyway warm. Even now that's still cool. Cables first. Take note of the holes for your bolts. Roughly line them up. And then hopefully she should slide on. Lovely. And drive them on home. And you can fit your air deflector and your big spring. Now for your rotor. Before you fit this, just make sure your bearings are good. Perfect time to change them if any of them are anyway suspect. These ones here are fine. Put your bearing plate. That's just to hold the bearing in place. Now, fitting your brush ring, there's a wee pin down here and a notch up here. This notch is centered on this extra screw hole. So 4 screws hold this in place, but there's an extra one here. That extra screw centers this in the right position. So it's the plate puts the brush holder on the right position on the armature. That's what these lines are for here as well. It's a bit of a pattern. It's just to locate the plate correctly on the body machine so you don't turn it to the wrong position. to be something like that there to match these lines. So the wiring on this here, it's actually just wired the two brushes side by side. The two brushes are these two here. There's your centering mark. It's these two brushes the wires go onto. Just a grey wire on here, white wire on there. Once your wires are fitted, it's easier then just to fit your brush ring. Now, that's initially installed. It's time to install your brush springs. So to fit these, it's dead simple. All you're doing, pushing them straight down from the top. And they clip onto the side. There's two legs this side, they clip on. So on the outside, so we leaf spring. It's pushing on the brush. That pushes down on the brush. And then the pressure pushes it back up and snags it on here. Very simple and effective. Easy to fit on top, not so easy on the bottom. This is in the wrong position. This plate will have to be moved over. Best thing to do is rotate it around to the bottom first, and then rotate the plate and put them all on from the top. Then, when you've all that neatened up and tidied, go ahead and fit your plate. Just line up the screw first. Get the brush plate into place. So this screw is just here. Holding this brush plate in place. Stops it from rotating. So once the plate's centered, then you can put all these screws on to hold the brush plate in place. Then get the outside screws put on them. Now, this earth clamp has to go onto the body. It'll go onto one of these screws here. It's actually marked G and W, grey and white. Make sure you've got adequate clearance from the drum. Slowly but surely we're getting here. Looks good. Nearly there. Now, I never like to run these machines without the steel plate or some sandpaper on it, because this here plate acts as a weight as well. You run this without this clamping plate, it can cause a lot of vibrations in the machine. It's best to have it fitted, and just for good measure, stick some sandpaper on as well, just in case. Just in case you were to hit the floor, you don't want that this rubber pad touching the concrete or rub off anything, because you can tear it apart, and they're not cheap to buy. And that's her, ready to run. Looking good. So that's it. One Hiretech HT8 Floor sander up and running again with a second hand field and armature out of a scrap machine. I'll keep this boy running for a bit longer. Better not wear away my mat. That's her done at long last. That was actually quite a long repair, to be quite honest. Get her out the door now, get another one on.